Hey guys, it's JP, and today we are going to go over more advanced exercises that will challenge the glutes in ways that are more specific to running. As I mentioned in a previous video, the glutes play a significant role as you run. These muscles act as a powerful hip extensor, which aid in propelling forward as you push off the ground. This becomes increasingly more important in higher intensity paces, as research has shown that the hips tend to contribute even more as you run faster. Now, the thing I want to further elaborate on is the exercises that I provided from my previous video on hip drive. The exercises I included were more low-level drills to learn the movement and get the feeling of pushing back more from the hips. If you noticed, all these exercises were done with both legs on the ground. Now, this is good to perform initially, as well as for safety when incorporating heavier weights. However, to further progress these exercises to challenge the glutes in a more running-specific way, you should begin to incorporate more single leg exercises. This incorporates more of a balance and coordination component, as well as requires the hips to not only work in a forward and backward motion, but also side to side as well. It is good to keep the side to side component in mind, because if you do not have adequate control of the glutes, the hips may drop on the opposite side, which could end up causing more stress on the knees as you run. This is why for these single leg exercises, you will commonly see the cue to keep the hips level, as this works on this kind of control. Anyway, performing these on one leg is also more specific for running, because if you watch closely, you are actually only on one leg at a time as you run as well. Now that we covered that, let's get into some great examples of single leg exercises for the glutes. Again, I collaborated with District Track Club to make these videos for you guys. The first exercise we will go over is a single leg bridge. This is a great exercise to begin to challenge the glutes in a single leg position. First, start in this position. You can use a band for more glute and core engagement, but it's not necessary. Now, when performing this movement, engage the core through the movement. Also, pay attention to the foot position. If the foot is farther away, this will target more of the hamstring. However, if you bring it closer, this will actually engage the glutes even more. Then, when performing the movement, engage the glutes and drive upward. Remember to maintain level hips during this process. Another tip is that this movement should also come from the hips and not from the back, so no excessive back arching should be present. Then, slowly lower the hips and repeat. Now, the next exercise I will go over is a single leg hip thrust. If you have a bench or an elevated surface, this is a great way to further challenge the hips, as it requires more range of movement compared to the previous exercise. To start this one, align the lower shoulder blade with the bench as shown. Make sure to keep a vertical shin in this position. Then, only lower as far as you can while maintaining contact with the bench. Don't force yourself to touch the glutes on the ground if it will mean compromising form or sliding off the bench. Then from this position, drive up from the hips, and then you can repeat the process. The third exercise is one of my favorites. This is called the single leg Romanian deadlift. This is a more advanced movement that not only increases strength demands on the glutes, but also requires more single leg control, which is essential for running. You can also incorporate weights to further challenge the hips. Anyway, start in this position. Try to keep the shin perpendicular to the floor. Also, make sure to keep good trunk alignment throughout the activity. Then, slowly lower the hands to around mid-shin. Again, try to maintain a level pelvis. Then, when coming up, push the foot into the floor when rising up. And then you can repeat it again. And those are a few single leg exercises that target the glutes to help strengthen them and improve your performance in running. Let me know what you guys thought about the video, as well as any questions that you may have. And as always, thank you for watching.